Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another 20 days of COAPA Cut Files. And for today, we are celebrating the decorations. I absolutely love documenting how everything is different every single year. So I decided to pull out these Good Tidings alphas. Not really alphas, I guess they're already put together words that are still thickers. And then this alpha set that I am trying my hardest to kill, which is called Sarah. I know I've used it in a couple other videos, but I don't think I've ever showed you guys what name it is. But it comes with a black font with white lines on it and a gold font with white lines on it. And for this one, I'm starting to have to alter words. So for the word decorating, I'm going to take a P and put the little bit from an exclamation point as my R. And then I have random die cuts from other pieces. I have these buttons. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not. You guys, I'm basically taking what I had from previous layouts that I've already pulled out and trying not to pull out new product and incorporate it, seeing how I'm using up all the same papers, same color scheme, things like that. So I have these 49 in Market die cuts that I'm not sure if I want to use, but I think I will finally open them and see what I can use. And then I have these sticker sheets again from Graphic 45 that's called Christmas Time. I already backed my cut file only because I plan on doing a lot more to the stringy-ma-thingies using this gorgeous gold ribbon. And then I also have a few jingle bells that are made out of wood. And I took some Aspen Gold Nouveau mica spray and painted them. I did not spray them. I painted them. That way the I think it's called scoring, or the images that are on the bells weren't covered up. Now, if I were to have sprayed them, they would have filled up with the color, and it just wouldn't have looked as good, I don't think. So I painted them. Then these are the scraps that I used to back the cut file, but I'm going to use the rest of this green to matte my photo, and I plan on matting my photo 3 times using this green and then this gorgeous plaid that I think is a little bit too loud on its own, but as a photo mat, I think it's going to be gorgeous. Yep. And then check out the backside of this. It's just so me. This bird is just amazing, sitting on top of those gears, or he's got like wheeled gear feet, and then the ornaments are all gears. You guys, if my husband allowed me to do that one year, I am so going to document and share with you guys. I'm going to give you a house tour because I would love to do that. And then I just found this paper. I didn't even see this paper until I was looking for what I was going to use for my background. Holly and Gears. Oh my gosh, you guys, I squealed like a little girl. Yep, I did. I should have bought 2 of those extra. Yeah. And I'm going to use this spruced up, close to my heart from 2019. I like the pine needle portion of it. It kind of goes with my Graphic 45. And then I have this Stampin' Up piece. I'm not really sure the name of the collection, but it's green trees on one side, green polka dots on the other side. And I'm going to use it because I'm going to have a coordinating pocket page go with my single page. Normally when I do the decoration pages, they're all pocket pages. I don't dedicate a whole 12 by 12 or a double pager just for decoration. 9 times out of 10, and this might seem a little bit grinchy of me, but 9 times out of 10, my kids don't really get into it. Like they either want to joke around and just throw stuff at the tree because they're teenage boys, or they just want to sit there and hand me ornaments. And so I don't get to take hardly any decorations except for the aftermath. And it's just kind of one of those, deal with it type of things. And ever since we got a train to go around the bottom of the tree, kids have been a little bit more into, okay, let's decorate so we can put up the train type thing. But yeah, it's just one of those things that, it's the stage of life that they are getting into. Yay me. Oh, anyways, here I am trying to make a bow without my fork. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen me do a bow with a fork before, but basically I wrap the ribbon around and then I go in between the middle portion of the prongs, and then it's like an up and around, and I create a knot. It's hard to explain, and I know I'm going in super speed mode for this, but what I was trying to do is use my fingers so I get a little bit bigger of a bow rather than trying to, but I also wanted a double bow up at the top. So my plan is to replace all the paper strings with bows, and then for the bells I'm going to use this twine. I picked up this twine at Joann's when they used to have, it was right before they started bringing in the Park Lane stuff, and they just had these weird off companies, and I thought, you know what, this string, and it was like 50 cents, and yeah, I'll do it. And it beats having one of those big rolls. I just don't know where I would put a big roll, and these little cardboard string things, they slide nicely in my bulky bins on their side, and much better than the big rolls. It's just for me, you guys. I wouldn't mind having a big roll because then I don't have to purchase as many or as many times as often. But yeah, I just really like the thinner stuff because in my organization they fit better. Anyways, I decided that I was going to pop up the red joy orb, and that way I can put my ribbon behind it, so that way it looks just like the paper ribbons that were on there, or paper bows that were on there. I'm just trying to stay true to what was already pre-cut, and then that way I can mimic but have it look, realistic. I don't know, you guys. I think I get way into decorating my pages for Christmas, in all honesty. All right, so I decided to do those little twine bows for my bells and string them up as well, and then I'm going to work on the photo. Now, normally I don't leave matting my photos in because it's, boring. But this one, what I did was I had a specific amount of green to work with, and so I wanted to gut out what I needed to go around, because I'm going to mat this 3 times. It's going to be a green and then a red and then a green. I'm also trying to multitask too. So if you see my hand dart up into the left, it's because I'm trying to type something. I don't remember what. I think I was visiting with somebody. I tried to cut out as much as I could, you guys, without, like chopping up the process altogether. So because I did not cut my photo at, like a normal size, I'm struggling with how much I should cut out and gut out of this green piece. And so I wanted to make sure that my red piece was going to cover up the gap for what I needed on, my first mat. And I mean, it was a mess, and I wanted to leave this in here to show you guys how I adapt and overcome. Plus, my daughter needed help folding a letter to Santa, so she didn't understand what a trifold was. Or I guess that was just a bifold, wasn't it? Anyways, I called it a trifold. Anyways, it's fancy. So I decided to just leave a 1/2 inch gap all the way around, assuming that that was going to be enough. Well, for the sides, it was, but for the up and downs, the top and bottoms, it was too much. And so now I'm like, oh, well, I should have just cut it all out anyways. And then, of course, my plaid mat I made too small. I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to leave it as is. But I am going to take this green mat and cut it up into 2 different corner pieces, so that way I can put them behind my plaid, so that way I can make it work, for me, and nobody's going to notice it. In fact, I don't even notice it. Sometimes it's like completely obvious, but this one, nah, it'll be okay. So I'm just eyeballing it, trying to get it as straight as possible, and I'm intertwining. So the upper right corner is overlapping the bottom piece, and then the bottom left corner is overlapping, or is underlapping the bottom piece. So that way it kind of looks like it was woven, but then again, it's just so small, you're not going to notice it. But I am glad that I did it, because this paper is so busy that I needed that break of pattern with the cardstock. So I am glad that I ended up doing that. All right, so I am going to rip this holly paper. Yay! Oh gosh, you guys, I can't tell you how much I love this paper. It's so me. I mean, ingenious. Can I have more? Seriously. So I went ahead and I ripped it, and then that way I have the pine trees or the pine needles behind my ornaments, so it looks like they're hanging on a tree. That was kind of sort of my idea behind how I wanted this layout to look or work, is I wanted the ornaments to look like they were hanging on a tree. And I know somewhere in my stash I have, realistic pine needles that would have worked with this as well. But I do have to say that I'm trying to use what I already have pulled out until I need something else to pull something else out, if that makes any sense. So just trying to make it all work and still love what I'm creating, I guess. All right, so I made another double bow out of twine, which I think I should have just left it as a single. But what I'm trying to do is intermix the two double bows into one bow. And I just loosened up the gold knot so I can slip the double bow underneath it really quick. And I do kind of like how it looks, but I should have just left it as a single. It's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so glue dots are my best friend when it comes to ribbon. I don't like liquid glue because it seems like it just seeps through and then never, ever, ever sticks. So I just use glue dots, and what I'm doing is I'm glue dotting one end down and then twisting the ribbon to how I want it to stay, and then gluing the other end down. And then when it goes into my album, yes, they'll get squished, but they'll get squished in a way that I wanted it to get squished, if that makes sense. So I am using the paper ribbons as my guide of how I wanted them to go, which one went behind, which one went, in front, and how did they kind of loopy around. So I did it as best as I could mimic it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my jingle bells down. Now I don't want my jingle bells to hang, too far into the, in front of the ornaments or anything like that. So I'm kind of sort of just going to overlap them slightly, but not a whole lot. So make it kind of look like it's one of those clusters of ornaments that my kids like to hand me. They instead of one ornament at a time, they like to hand me like 6 or 12. It's so fun. Whatever their little fingers can hold is what they try to hand me all at once. And so that's what this reminded me of, actually, is all of the ornaments that they try to give me to put on the tree, or they try to go and do themselves. And then we end up dropping about 2 or 3 a year. Uber fun, you guys. Kids are great. All right. So I do end up gluing the I think it's twine, jute. I'm not sure what the name is. I do end up gluing that down in specific spots, and the spots that I chose were the lumpy spots where the cardboard made an indent in it, kind of like, I don't know how to describe that, but that's where I put my glue down, and then it kind of like made those lumpy spots disappear automatically, which I thought was really cool. And then I'm going to take my bow and make sure that the ribbon ends go in this kind of like, again, I'm going off of the paper ribbons and trying to mimic what was already there. And it was a no-brainer, you guys, with that little pattern to go off of. I didn't have to guess how I wanted everything to look. And I just absolutely love how it looks. And I was showing you guys how the pocket page is going to incorporate with this particular layout, because the pocket page is going to be, when it's closed, it's going to just show the ornaments. It's going to be right next to the ornaments. And then when you open it up, it's going to show you guys. So the main page has all the tree, the tree. And then the other side shows all the rest of the decor, which I really like. Again, it did not warrant a 2-pager, not at all. So I am going to go and do a few more little decorations. The title's going to go in that blank pocket card. I don't really have a whole lot of journaling to do on this, you guys. As many pages as I am doing for this year's Christmas, which this is 2020's Christmas, by the way. And for this, I just don't feel like I need to journal on every single layout, because it's all the same. Not the same as last year, but it's all kind of sort of, the same. It's maybe 20 days I'm not doing a photo a day, but just maybe, 20 days worth of journaling, and I just don't have a lot to say for 20 days. I just don't. So here are the close-ups of the page. If you guys are interested in watching the, the pocket pages, that comes up next. I do this for those that aren't interested in pocket pages. I want to say thank you for watching, kind of into the in the recording and all that stuff, and then that way those of you that aren't interested in pocket pages can say, hey, that was great, thanks for watching, or thanks for showing or sharing, and I'm out. But I do leave in all of the pocket page portion for those that are interested in watching me decorate the edges of my photos, the blank pocket space, things like that. So this is the first one that I really wanted to cover. I just wanted, this photo here has a lot of blank space, but I wasn't sure how much embellishing I had to cover up if I was to have made this into a 3x4. So I did leave it in as a 4x4, but I wasn't sure exactly how much I was going to want to decorate. Like I said, these are very hard for me to embellish, just because it's like, it's about decorating. So how do I decorate about decorating? It's kind of hard. So I'm just gonna tuck and weave a bunch of different things that are random and have absolutely nothing to do with decorating. These 49 and Market die cut layering pieces are a huge help for sure. They've got pre-torn edges or pre-scuffed up edges and things like that. 9 times out of 10, I don't actually end up, I use them for their edges more than I do for their prints. This one here, I was just wanting this wonky edge on it. I glued a tree down. I did actually have to go and cut the shank off. I saved you from watching me have to do that. So yeah. And like I said, this one here, I cover up most of the tree. It's not about the image of the tree in all fairness. It's just about the different edging that is on the paper that I really want. So I'm auditioning other pieces because that is one big bright doily, big bright red doily, I should say. And I did not want that much red. I just knew I wanted some red. And so I was just trying to figure out what piece would be perfect to cover it up and also not take away from the title, because this is my title card. And so I'm using my tree, my other side of my tree piece, and covering up where I already ripped off and nobody will even know. And then I am putting this envelope that says 5 cents down below, and it peeks out just enough of that red that it's not in your face red. I love that, you guys. Also too, the tree ended up showing up, which was another bonus. So I'm going to put down my title. The first word is together, and then I will kind of sort of I bounce back and forth depending on what catches my eye. Now I do know that my G ends up being crooked. I don't understand how that happened. In all honesty, I don't, but I leave it. It stays exactly like that. Never even change it. I found all these little ornaments on that pink paisley. I think it's Good Tidings. No, it's not. Anyways, I found some of these little micro ornaments that fill in some gaps really well. And then, of course, some word stickers that I think also help finish off some of these clusters. One of them says Christmas tree down where I used the the tree button. And then the other one said together where I put with Grandma and Vern. So I did that. And then I'm going to hand draw in some strings for my ornaments to be hanging. That way they're just not floating on the page. So I'm just doing a small little bow over the ornaments and then little twirly swirly gigs going up the page. And then I think that's about it. I do decorate a little bit more on the photo down below, but not a whole lot. And the reason why I do decorate down there is only because I wanted to cover up all the electronics that really didn't have a home when we were, putting up the decorations and stuff like that. So they just kind of hang out there, and I really wanted to cover them up. So, that way you pay attention to the good stuff and not the ugly stuff. All right, so I'm going to find one more little sticker that says believe and glue everything down to make sure that it's not going to shift in the pocket. And that is it. Here are the close-ups of all of these little pocket cards. I just want to, again, say thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I do enjoy splitting up my videos for the layout and the pocket page for those that aren't interested at all for the pocket pages, which I completely understand. I just enjoy incorporating pocket pages because they don't, the photos I want to have, but I don't want to have to make a 12 by 12 for every single one of these photos. I just don't. And the pocket pages make me happy because my photos are in the books. That decorating is really crooked. I even used a ruler, you guys. More coffee for me. But yeah, I do enjoy all these photos in the albums, and I just enjoy them. And I enjoy not having to make a 12 by 12 page. Anyways, make sure you check out the COAPA Cut File shop on Etsy. She's having a 25% off sale all the way for these 20 days. So if you're here in America, it ends December 19th. Even though it's 20 days, it ends on December 19th because she's over in Australia and she's in the future. Yeah, it's been very confusing, you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along. I don't know about you guys, but I am enjoying seeing all the different cut files. I mean, and she has many, many more. Many more in her shop. Go check it out. I know I spent some money. All right. Thank you so much. See ya.